I could give you if it is possible, the answers. I mean, whatever questions you have
Whatever you have to say.
regarding this subject. I'm not a teacher. I indulge in my own self, in my own game. You understand? But if somebody asks something, you are welcome.
Okay. So I can ask some questions?
Sure, why not?
So may I ask you the name?
They call me Brahma Chaitanya.
Brahma Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Acha. And what is your purpose here?
My purpose.
Yes.
To destroy this mind.
Destroy the spine.
This mind. To sublimate it. Not destroy actually. Sublimate. Sublimate this mind.
How do you do that?
To use it up.
Yes.
Ethically. Do you understand?
No.
Fulfill all your desires according to the norms of your society. That is ethical fulfillment. Then those desires will be sublimated. They would not arise again. Did you fly kites when you were young? Did you play marbles when you were young? Did you play with your dolls when you were young? Huh? Where are they now? There was a time when their whole life centered around them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've grown over. Isn't it? That's sublimation. Ethical fulfillment. Not suppression. Suppression leads to frustration. Sublimation leads to emancipation of this mind.
Yes.
So that's our purpose. Yogasya Chitta Vritti Nirodha. The cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. That's what you call. If you want to see this pure paper, the whiteness of this paper, you have to remove all these lines, isn't it? Similarly, the mind too is a taint. It covers the real consciousness, the real thing which you are. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you have to remove all this darkness, all these lines and taintedness, which is the mind.
Yeah.
Then the natural beauty of the base, the foundation, is automatically observed, isn't it? It is natural, it is always there.
So which practices do you use then to erase the mind?
Sublimation,
Right.
knowledge, understanding what this mind is. The psychology, all our subjects actually are nothing else but psychology. It is the transformation of the selfishness of of our mentalities into selflessness. Do you understand selflessness?
Yes. Without ego.
No, don't use those words. Yes, because you must understand what the ego is. Selflessness is actually just the opposite of selfishness. All your heroes, why do you adore them? Why do you admire them? Simply because they were selfless, not selfish. They used to do something for others rather than for themselves.
Yes.
That's why you consider them as heroes, isn't it? There's no other way.
Yeah, the traditional way of hero that I know is that the hero goes out into the world, learns about things that society is not aware of, brings them back, and then helps all society by telling them about it. That's
You're mistaking this seers with the heroes.
Sears was hero. Okay.
Those are people. Here, the heroes live with society, and their attitude, their mentality is such. That means that their program is such that they would not like to hurt anything. I'll give you a bit better way of this selflessness and selfishness. Don't hurt anything
Yeah.
at this moment. That is what is the meaning of this reuse, reduce, and recycle. Not
see
hurting anything.
Reduce. Recycle here.
See,
Reduce and reuse. Yeah.
The problem with modern society is that we are hurting everything, nature especially. And good Lord, the empire will strike back as it is striking back, with all its pollution, with all its violence, with all its what you call AIDS, cancer. It's only because we have been disturbing the total environment, total nature, for our selfishness. It's not that nature cannot provide you with what you need. It's because you have, I want more, and more. Well, poor nature is also limited.
Yeah.
So, you're over what you call using it up. You're not allowing it to grow back. What do you call that? Resurrect itself.
Yes.
Must give it time. And you don't have time. You want more, and now. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. And that's why you have all these problems of this world today.
So to get rid of the mind, do something for others, you say?
Yes. Don't hurt anything.
Don't hurt anything. But if you hurt something, you only hurt yourself, really, no?
Naturally, that's what I was just saying, because you are nature.
Yes.
Aren't you nature? So if you hurt any part of nature, it will certainly rebound back upon you.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
That we don't understand. We think, no. But when it comes back, we won't be here. Nature will not do anything.
Yeah.
It is always doing. So stop hurting. Then you will be in bliss land.
In peace land.
Bliss.
Bliss land.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And bliss is called in Sanskrit, how you call bliss?
Anand.
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 Yeah.
Anand.
Thank you.
Good lad. You're welcome.
No myth in
No
it.
myth at all. Everything can be explained in such a manner in which you will accept the explanation as logical. It is just like that. People who talk about myths and floating in air and those siddhis and all these games, you see, they're only doing it only to glamorize the subject so that you are attracted and dollars and marks flow in.
So you say for every cause there's a reaction.
Every cause has an effect,
Has an effect, yes.
and every effect has to have an antecedent cause.
So what about God?
What do you mean by God?
Well, there's no image to it.
No. There must be some concept to it. If you use any word, there must be a concept behind it.
Concept, let's say a greater being that's all-seeing, all-knowing, and pervades everything.
Very good. Now, what do we call God? In that sense, just see, what do we call God? So, now, what do you see in this world? Only your mind.
Yes, that's true.
And how is this mind being seen? Does a dead man see his mind?
I don't know.
So he must be conscious. To have a mind, to have awareness, you must have a conscious mind. This consciousness, which is this liveliness, is what we call God. Nothing else. Nothing else. If that consciousness is not there, then the mind is not there, and so there is no world to see. So everything is painted upon this background, this screen called consciousness. This mind is a painting upon consciousness. You understand? If the consciousness is not there, I am just giving you as a simile. It doesn't mean that the mind is in the same. I mean, consciousness is what I am saying exactly, because consciousness has no concept. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
Exactly. Can you explain to me the taste of sugar?
The taste of sugar. You have to taste it.
That's it. So you have to taste consciousness by removing the mind to understand consciousness.
Right. So that's why you cannot suppress it, but you have to go through the experience.
Exactly. Exactly.
That makes sense.
Of course it is logical, I told you. There is no myth. There is no myth at all.
Well,
Even levitation.
levitation.
Yeah.
You've
That-
seen someone levitate or
Never.
Never.
Never. Those are what you call practices which are really at the moment impossible. There
Yeah.
may be some who could do it, but then their mentality, their mind must be so controlled
Yeah.
and so concentrated that they could do it. It's a difficult thing. It's not my game.
Right.
So I cannot say anything much about it, but I can understand how they do it. Logically, scientifically, rather than just by accepting the word of the book.
The word of the book. You cannot just accept the word
No,
of the book.
we don't. We don't. Our modern times are not such that we just told we will accept. No, it's not like that. We use our mind, our brains, our intellects to understand the logic behind every concept. And if it is not acceptable to our logically, we will reject it.
You reject.
Of course, that's what our subject tells us. Our gurus tell us. If the mind doesn't accept it, don't accept it. What I have said. It's not just a forceful feeding. It must be in the desireful feeling. I mean, with interest. There's no forced feeding. That is why I say you can't inspire people. They have to have it inside them.
So how do they get it inside?
It's how the question is, what you have asked is how does this genetic program come in man, in an individual? How does he get it?
Yes.
This, we say, is by their own previous mentality. The last mentality which they had
In the past life.
in their past life.
Yeah.
That has only evolved in through the present life.
So this is about karma.
Yes, but it's an evolution.
It's an evolution.
Ah,
It's nothing stagnant.
no, never. Nature is always evolving, and we are all evolving with nature as nature.
All as one.
All is one. There is no doubt about it. That you can only understand, my friend, if once you go into the realm of consciousness. Then only you will actually feel and experience the unity in all this apparent diversity.
And apparent diversity, right.
By the way, what are you looking at? Is it the writing? Is it coming out in a written form or just a face?
I show you.
Ah, I see. You've
Just like
got
this.
something.
Yeah,
You've got
so-
a bigger, this thing. Scene.
Screen.
Ah.
Yeah, this way
This
I
is
can.
a new one which I have seen.
Yeah, very good. I have one more idea coming to mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and that is about raising consciousness to that degree where you can see that diversity in the unity experience. How do you raise your consciousness up to that level?
By removing the mind. Simple.
By moving the mind. Removing the mind, right.
Obliterating the mind. Totally.
I guess in meditation you can do that.
Of course. These are words, my friend. Unless you experience them, it's all words.
Yeah. What made you to experience it?
My own program.
Your own program.
What they call karma.
But you can influence your karma.
No.
No.
The seed must always be there to sprout.
So no guru initiation, no heavy tapasya can bring you to the state of enlightenment, basically.
No. Unless you have that program inherently in you.
Right. So everything future is already pre-programmed, kind of.
Yes, And that is what slowly the Western science is also coming across. Unfortunately, their ego is so bloated, they won't accept it. They can't see the tip of their own nose.
The tip of their own nose. Because their mind's in the way, I guess.
That's it. That's it. But they'll come to across, don't worry. They'll come across. Time is a great leveler.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
So can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
How long did you have this beard grow? And your hairs?
This was a growth of 14 years.
14 only?
Only.
Wow.
Only. Natural. Totally.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. You want it? You want such a growth?
No.
No.
I want inner growth.
Yeah, that can only come once you stop hurting others.
Hurting others.
Simple. That is what we say, ahimsa param dharma.
Dharma.
Non-violence
Non-violence.
is the highest religion. And that's what the Bible will teach you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Quran will teach you. That's what all the scriptural texts of all spiritual leaders will teach you. The same thing.
Non-violent.
Non-violence. Don't hurt. Take what you need. Don't take to what you call aggrandize yourself or to what you call hoard. Just take what you need. That's non-hurting. If you are a meat eater, all right, go ahead. Don't kill more than what is necessary. Just take what is necessary. That's non-hurting. Then nature will supplant what you have taken, because you too will give back to nature. Rather than it being a one-way traffic, there will be give and take.
Yes, that's the natural way.
That's the natural
But
way.
if you take a whole boat and you have a big fishing net and
That's it.
you take loads of fish and you make money in the market,
That's it. That's
Not
wrong.
not
That is
natural anymore.
this is hurting,
this is hurting. Yeah.
and that is why you're feeling the hurt now. Now there is a lack of fish vertical supply in
Yeah.
your vertical countries. You're fighting with each other only. No, I must have my boats also in your waters. That is the problem.
So simple life is peaceful life.
There is no other way.
No other way.
No other way to have shanti. We live. Look, by the way, we live here just without any money. Can you imagine that? In a
No
modern
money.
world. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Living on the system, in the system, as the system,
Uh-huh.
without bothering about when the next vertical bread comes from. And by the way, there is nothing lacking here too.
Lacking it.
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram. Okay.
So
Can
what's your job back there?
My job? I'm a traveler.
Ah,
I am multi-diversity, do many things. Different things at different times. Experiences that will give me, that rise in my consciousness that I need to go to in order to have it gone. Yes.
so now you're based in America.
No, I have no base.
No base.
My base is in my heart.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. By the way, what did you study?
I study life.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. All right.
Alright. I'll take a picture of the beautiful mountains where you
Yeah,
live here in paradise.
it is paradise. We live here 12 months of the year.
12 months of the year.
No, it's not that troublesome.
It's not cold?
Not at all. Don't bother about it. And as it is with this very global warming,
Global warming.
yeah, you don't. Just imagine this year we've had less than 4 feet of snow in the winter total.
Wow.
Whereas we generally get about 21 feet, 17 feet, 18 feet. This year, less than 4 feet.
Yes. Last year in Pushkar, I was in Pushkar and it was raining every day heavily, but it was not monsoon. People were very surprised. The climate is changing everywhere.
Totally. Because we are totally contaminating it. Totally it's changing the parameters of the weather patterns, the climate patterns. So therefore you will get these effects, which you have never encountered before.
So what do you see in the future? Doesn't look like a happy ending.
No, it is always happy.
It's always happy.
The Lord's will always prevails, my friend. And the Lord never does anything which is wrong.
Right.
So why bother? The world will go on as it is.
Yeah. No need to change the world then.
Never. Isn't the old boy doing his work properly?
Say again.
Isn't the old boy up there doing his work properly? Hey?
Old boy.
Yeah.
What about old girl?
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the word boy or girl makes no difference for him.
Yes.
Or her.
I'm joking.
I understand.
Yeah.
This is only our own individual, selfish ideas, which have bifurcated it into boy, girl, man, woman, male, female, this, that. It's all one. Nature has got no sex. It's one. Isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's only our selfish attitudes which has brought this turmoil, this differentiation.